Some would play.
Can I?
So shout out to Dan with Rainbow Tomato Gardens.
Rainbow Tomato Gardens.
So it's a small farm in Pennsylvania, but he also collects canned fish from all over the world. Like he's a big tin fish expert enthusiast man.
Nice.
And so he sells them on his website. And when you go to buy them and add them to your cart and purchase them, you don't pay for them right away. Instead, you get an email from him with whenever he has time to email you. And he's like, "Hey, I'm Dan." And he's like, we individually calculate the shipping to keep it cheaper. And he's like, how are you doing? And how did you find us? And he like wants to talk to you and become your friend. And then,
I'm not into that.
I had a whole conversation with him, and he calculated the shipping cost, and he sent it to me in a big box, and he packed it with like coasters and stickers and fun stuff and like little like fish things. In the coaster, it's like a smiley face with fish eyes.
I'm gonna find this,
and
he's gonna be like, "How'd you hear about us?" Be like, "My friend Daphne."
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
probably the only Daphne you know. Let's go, champ.
Yep. Yeah.
Send me those cool stickers.
Tell him Daphne sent you. But he's really fun, and I followed him on Twitter, and then he followed me right back.
And it was Rainbow Tomato Gardens.
Mm-hmm.
Rainbow Tomato Gardens.
And I bought sardines from Morocco. That's really good.
Nice.
From Portugal, the Nuri sardines, where they're all hand packaged in like a family owned like sardine plant that's been owned for like 100 years. There's no automation. They pay their workers really well and everything.
So you paid thousands of dollars for a can of sardines.
It was $6. It was still pretty good though. And then some from Japan, from Italy, from France, from Latvia.
Interesting.
So, yeah, and then you could do like this thing called Dan's Picks, where he just like, you're like, "Hey, I don't know what I want. You just pick for me," and he'll ask you some questions about what you like, and he'll just like package it for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's really nice and funny.
That's dope.
So
that sounds awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna look into this.
So
I like me some sardines.
So how do you like prepare them, or do you just?
I just eat them right out of the
eat
can.
them out of the can, man.
Really?
Good snack, yeah. And the bones are like easy to chew.
Yep, and good calcium.
Yep. You just eat them.
Like the spine.
I get some at Kroger that like they're packed in like mustard. It's nice. Packed in oil, packed in water. You pick your poison. But yeah, you just eat them out of the can.
Yeah, sometimes I'll eat them with crackers, or sometimes I'll eat them with bread.
I guess you could throw them on like a pizza or something. Yeah,
I've done that before. I would take like the skinless and boneless and put them on a pizza, and
they just munch them right out of the can. Oysters, same way. It's delicious.
I've never had like
super good for you too. The
canned
omega
seafood.
The omega-3s are so important.
Oh,
they're so good for you.
Yeah, it's really
your
good.
Your body gets so happy when you throw those sardines in there.
Your brain too.
Yeah, all of a sudden you can think again.
Mm-hmm. That's how I've been surviving my way through work. I just eat a bunch of sardines.
It's brain food for sure.
But if it's like the cheap ones, like the chicken of the sea, or
hell yeah,
just make a.
That's
s'more?
how I roll cheap all day.
Hold on. How did you make a fresh s'more in record time?
The magic of a microwave. They're the best invention ever. Greatest invention of the, let's call it, 20th century?
You put 1 graham cracker, then you put your chocolate little square on top of it. You put the marshmallow long ways on top of it, and then 10 seconds in the microwave.
Noted.
Don't go over 10 seconds, though.
No,
because it'll explode.
It will explode.
Because
every once in a while, the marshmallow will fall over. But if you catch it in time, then you can get it back on the chocolate.
I just wasn't ready for you to come down with a fresh s'more.
Sorry. I was like, I probably should ask if anybody else wants a s'more.
And then decided against.
I did. I was like, I really just want
Let it be noted. Let the record show.
No s'mores for us.
While you were gone, we discussed the benefits of sardines. Canned fish.
And I'm eating a s'more.
The opposite of a superfood.
The opposite. I agree with that.
It's a subfood. Oh, those mozzarella sticks were so good. Thanks, Deborah.
Which are also the opposite of a superfood.
Thanks, Finsfield, for sharing.
Cheese.
Oh, of course.
It's kind of nutritionally devoid, except for there's a little bit of protein in cheese, and it's not terrible for you. It can bind you up, though, and then you got bad poops. So, but that,
But you're welcome.
Oh, so one of my favorite YouTube channels, her name is Allison Pregor, and on her Patreon, I've been thinking about becoming a patron. And if it's $10 a month, she'll give you a shout out on her Twitter.
Nice.
And I was like, maybe I could have her shout out Someone Play.
Like maybe we could give it in the name of Someone Play.
Mm-hmm.
Do you
What
also
does she
get
do? Like,
the
would
ability
we
to
actually be
kill her?
reaching an audience that matters?
Doesn't
Yes.
she do the myths?
Oh no, let's talk about Miss Baby. She's really fun too. But no, she's like just a general nerd like YouTube channel. Like she does like reviews of like Star Trek episodes and like obscure 80s B movies.
Nice. Those are
Things
my
like that.
favorite.
Like
80s
Star
B
Wars.
movies are my
Mhm.
favorite.
She's really funny too.
Has she ever done one on Nuke 'Em High?
If she hasn't, I'm sure that it's something that she would be right up her wheelhouse.
I need to know if she's ever done a review on Nuke 'Em High because I watched that movie and remember just blinking and being like, what the hell just happened
She also does
with these terrible effects?
X-Files reviews.
I love the X-Files.
um,
I grew up on the X-Files.
mhm. I love the X-Files. And also Baywatch. It's just a very niche thing.
What?
Baywatch. But she just like basically she'll review an episode and just make fun of it the whole time. It's Baywatching Nights.
Wait,
That's
was
Look at them
Baywatch
bounce.
actually a serious show?
oh, it was very serious.
Very serious.
They attempted to be serious and
I was
failed.
seriously engrossed in it.
But yeah, shout out to Allison Fragor.
Big old bouncing
Um,
boobies.
Your videos kept me going during dark times.
Made me want to drown.
That reminds me of, and what's sad is I cannot remember his name. I really need to look up his name.
David Hasselhoff?
No.
I
But
want to
he
drown and get saved by
does
David
these
Hasselhoff.
like, last day of school
Giving me
in
mouth to mouth.
America versus England.
Slip the tongue in.
I
And he
don't
just-
want to feel depressed.
No. It's great
What-
because the flames are high, let me tell you,
What?
Okay.
in a very good way.
Wait,
and it's wonderful.
Is he like the one? He's like an American living in England, and he talks about.
No, he's an English person living in America.
Oh, okay.
He's an American.
And yeah, but
Probably
he'll
just
be
hates
like,
his life.
he'll have like his little like Mickey Mouse ears on, and he'll be like, in America. And then he'll be all like, happy, like, oh, we're going to watch the movie, blah, blah, blah. Everything's so great, right? And then he'll be like, versus England. And he'll be like, we still have a last day of school. There's going to be a test. And it's going to be on the movie.
But you get free healthcare.
Right? So it's like, give or take. Oh. V. Thomas English is his Instagram.
We should move to Canada.
I mean, he just said,
Just do that.
oh, he's dressing up as Cruella de Vil on this one. He's great. I love him. But he does like other things with Disney stuff.
You love
Um,
him?
I do.
Hmm.
I love you too.
Hmm.
That's what happens when you tick me off all the time.
Hmm. I'll get the divorce papers.
You said you would never divorce me. But yes, he's just I was very depressed. Oh, yeah, here we go. Like, if Beauty and the Beast was in England, rumor has it you have my father in your basement. And what makes you think that? He just checked in on Facebook to the ugly bastard's basement from downtown. Tough titties, hun. He ain't going nowhere. And why's that? He came up into my yard and tried to have one of me roses. Nah, mate, he's my prisoner now. Abduction for a rose? If you wanted a prick, mate, listen here, Belland. Oh my God, it's fucking amazing. I love him. I'm sorry, dear. He's gay as hell. It's okay. It's platonic. It's
Yeah.
platonic love.
Hmm.
He
That's
makes me
how it
laugh.
starts. That's how they get you.
He doesn't even know I exist. But I know he exists, and that's all that matters.
There you go.
All right, I'm with Clarence Thomas on overturning gay marriage now.
What?
That's where he wants to go next.
Mm-hmm.
They've
Wants to overturn the gay marriage ruling and the other one?
publicly said it. They've even now said things like, "Is Christian nationalism such a bad thing?"
It is. It's a real bad thing.
Yes, it's very bad.
We're going to have to resort to violence, guys. I mean, we should have done it a long time ago, but I think maybe we'll get to that tipping
I was
point.
hoping it would just get to the point where the boomers would.
Die? Yeah, they're not dying. They're all on that adrenochrome.
I thought they all died. We had COVID-19. We still have COVID-19.
Do we?
I also feel bad because I just read the text that says Daff is hungry.
Daff is hungry.
I'm.
But I fed you, so.
Yep, you can check that one off.
Resort to violence.
Yeah, my favorite quote so far is the domestic supply of infants.
Domestic supply of infants.
Yep. We all know what that actually means.
Yeah, we live in a failed state.
It means white babies.
Mm-hmm.
The country.
Oh,
is a
right.
failed
Because
state.
what do they call it? Like great replacement or something?
Yeah, it says
Who do they think is getting abortions?
nearly 1 million women are seeking to adopt children in 2002, i.e. they were in exactly like they were in demand for a child, whereas the domestic supply of infants relinquished at birth or within the first month of life because, there's not all these other kids in the goddamn
Look,
foster system.
The value depreciates almost immediately. It's like a new car. Once you drive it off the lot, $10,000 off the price. It's done.
And available
yeah.
to be adopted had become virtually non-existent. The domestic supply of infants. We know what that means.
You got to keep an eye on the supply
Fucking
chain.
weird, yeah.
Of
Mhm.
white babies.
Like,
That
look,
is what that means.
I get that there's
Yes.
people that want kids desperately and want to adopt, but like if there's no kids to adopt, that's a good thing. I'm sorry you can't find one, but
They're surrogates.
they're being taken
If
care
it
of.
gets there.
So
Yeah.
yay. I'm sorry for you.
Yeah, I'm in such a
but-
weird spot because, I'm in nobody's camp.
You don't. It's not your right
I'm also against
to
the idea.
adopt a child.
Matt and
It
I
is-
even talked about it before we even had kids.
It
We
is-
said if
it
we have
is
trouble
not-
having kids, we're not doing IVF.
It is
Interesting.
not your God-given right to have a child. You're
But
welcome
that's
to
the
try.
thing is, I believe that God
But if there's none for adoption,
that God really
tough
does
titty.
know us before we're even born. He's the one,
but that
Okay.
I
that
know.
brings us about. So when you are that way,
Mm-hmm.
yes, everybody is precious. And unfortunately, we have free will. So yes, we can kill them all.
See, there's a lot of stuff in the Bible addressing when a person's a person, and like it's all like definitely not immediately upon conception. But then some people throw it back at you and be like, well, God said he knew you before you were born and, before you were in the womb. And I'm like, okay, well, that makes every masturbation I've ever done fucking murder because you're saying the sperms,
Actually,
he knows
the Catholic
them.
Church says you shouldn't masturbate.
Well, they can
They've
kick
got it
rocks.
covered. I'm not saying I agree. I'm just saying that they've got it covered. But my big thing is,
So is that like your period every month is murder?
I
He knew
mean,
those eggs before they were in the womb. It's rough. You got to
I
challenge
don't
people
think
on
you're
their
Catholic
perception.
anymore.
You got to really challenge people on their perception of when, a person's a person because the Bible's fairly clear. It's not at conception.
But my biggest thing is, I don't think that
Old
abortion
school,
should be
first
illegal.
breath.
Even though I'm very against abortion, I don't think it should be illegal because when abortion is legal and readily available, the number of abortions that are done go down.
And when social
And the
programs are
number
funded.
of people who are hurt by them go down.
And
To
also-
me, that's what pro-life is.
But also, it's not a theocracy. So,
Also, why aren't we putting the same amount of effort that we are to make abortion illegal to make the death penalty illegal?
I mean, that's been proven not to be a good thing as well, the death penalty. So, we
Death
could
penalty
just
does not
cut that shit
deter
out.
Correct.
crime, and we know we have killed innocent people.
Yes.
Also,
We
it takes
know we have
forever.
done it.
And it's going to continue to happen so once the death penalty is a thing.
Exactly.
So, so it's like, okay, well, we can kill, we're going to kill 100 innocent people in order to kill 1,000 guilty people.
Yeah, it's
okay.
unacceptable.
And that's
Even if
because
it's one innocent person, it's
it's-
still.
I am the opposite. I would rather one guilty person be able to take advantage of the system and 9 other people get what they need to live. That's okay to me. To me, that's pro-life.
Mhm.
Not, we got to get that one person
Right.
and we're
because-
going to harm 9 other people in the meantime.
But that's because you worship canon Jesus and not fandom Jesus. Canon Jesus, super cool. Totally great teachings. Wonderful. Documented. Great. Fandom
That was the
Jesus is
thing.
kind of a piece of shit.
Jesus
I'm
was a rebel, but at
stealing
no
that
time
terminology.
But at no time did he actually let's overthrow the government or let's overturn the laws. No, he was just no, this is how you should live.
Yes.
He said nothing about
If you're following me, do this. Don't worry about the laws.
exactly. He was like, don't worry about all that.
Can't change that shit. Just you do you in the best way possible, and we're good.
Yeah, just be chill to each other, man.
Right. It just, again, that's not, you don't show people the love of God by shutting them down.
Yeah, but it's not about that.
I know it's not about that, but it's supposed to be like that. And that's what makes me so angry.
The whiteys have been mad about slavery for so long. They just demonize the poor after the slaves, and And they're always finding that lesser class.
Which kills me because that's
shit
who
on.
Jesus hung out with.
It's also the people that make all your shit. So, when they're all dead, it's going to be a real fucking problem for capitalism. So that'll be fun.
Well, and that's the other thing. If we don't have babies, you don't have other people. You don't have people growing up to then buy more things.
Yep.
Or
Okay.
to take care of us when we're old.
It's like people don't understand. Like the reason we have a 2-day weekend, we used to only have a 1-day weekend. We have a 2-day weekend because Ford basically was like, wait a minute. If you have an extra day off, that gives you an extra day that you want to go drive around in cars, that you want to go buy things. You know what? People should have a 2-day weekend. He did it because he knew that we would then spend more money. Do you know what I would do with 3-day weekends?
I almost want to move
That's
to
fair.
France
Spend more
where they
money.
like shit in their politicians' lawn to prove a point instead of just like yell at them. They just like fucking egg their house, beat it up, set it on fire. They're like, we're not fucking around, assholes.
I
Don't
do
take
love-
away our rights or we'll fuck you up.
I do love that now. Every modern protest you see in France, there's always a guillotine point being pulled down the road. And I'm like,
Yeah.
so why does everyone just have this in their garage?
That's the only good thing about the French, but that is a great thing the French have going for them. When they protest, they don't fuck around. They're like, look, you pissed us off. And by pissed us off, we mean we're fucking coming.
Because
And
they're pissed off all the time.
over here, we're like, we're going to march and say words and nothing's going to happen. And we're just going to keep doing that. But in France, they're like, burn it down, burn it down. We're burning down Parliament. Everybody, 3:00, burning it down. It's like, oh, whoa, 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 whoa.
What kills me
Fuck
also
you fucked up now.
is who are the people that attacked the White House? It wasn't the liberals.
Right?
And it should
It
be
wasn't
every
the
day.
protesters.
Every day of the week, it should be us.
What the fuck?
We should be throwing
We live in
Molotov
a
cocktails
Where the same people attacked the White House
rectally at Joe Biden's head. When he made
who
those
aren't
statements,
even the liberal protesters.
he should have been like, violence is not the answer. Wink. We cannot use intimidation. Know what I'm saying? These words that are being written down. Yeah? Don't do that.
I feel like I'm becoming stupider just living in this country.
You guys know where the Supreme Court justices live, right? Don't go there.
Oh, what was the carry gun law that passed as well?
Oh, that now you don't have to have a license or special permission to have a gun. Or you don't have special permission
so
for
you
it to be
have to have
concealed
kids,
carry.
but they won't protect them.
Here's the Supreme Court's decision logic is that
I'm gonna take this
the
can.
Constitution mentions guns and guarantees your right to bear arms. So the Constitution says that. So they're saying you can't. So when they struck down the New York law, they were saying you've limited the right to bear arms in this situation. The Constitution says you can. And whereas in the abortion situation, they were saying the Constitution says nothing about abortion, so it's a state's issue. And so the people, on Twitter that are saying, okay, so the Supreme Court this week said that you couldn't limit guns at the state level, but you can limit abortions at the state level. And it's like, well, okay, but their logic there was the Constitution guarantees your right to guns, but it does not guarantee your right to an abortion. So that abortion is a state's issue because the Constitution doesn't mention it, but the Constitution does mention guns, so that's a federal issue. It makes sense, their logic. It's not right, but
It's definitely not
their
right.
logic makes sense in that
But
matter.
my
They
issue
need
though
to take a
is
broader
the
view, though.
Constitution was written in a time in which you had to
Here's the fun,
light a piece of flint.
no, but here's the fun thing
the
about
amount of time between rounds
here's the fun
and the accuracy what you were
Right.
shooting.
the fun thing about the Constitution though is that Congress can make laws which are protected by the
That's
Constitution.
who's really fucked up is Congress.
Like
Correct.
when Obama campaigned and said it would be a first priority for him to codify Roe via the whatever Safe Something Act, I don't know. And then he didn't do that, and he had a supermajority.
Yep.
And when asked about it, he was like, "Well, abortion rights aren't really a top priority right now." And it's like, okay, so this could have been done,
Mhm.
didn't get done. Could still kind of be done now if they had balls and abolished the filibuster and slapped Joe Manchin and Kristen Sinema in the fucking face a couple times. Just look at him, just punch him. I don't know, Biden, get out there. They won't punch you back. You're an old man. Just punch him. You're fucking. If they touched you, you die. So just punch them. Nobody will stop you.
Mm.
And then maybe they'll get their shit in gear. They won't, but
No, it's just because the Democrats are writing this going, look how bad they are. Look how
Yeah.
bad they are.
Yeah, they're
so
gonna
we won't
fundraise.
look at the Democrats and go,
they're fucked.
look how
They're
awful
fucked in
you
the-
are
They're fucked in the midterms.
for not having done anything.
They're so fucked.
When
And
are
we're
the-
all fucked because they're fucked.
Exactly. And
What are
fuck.
like they're it's either going to come pretty soon, but we're either going to get 2 more parties, both on extremes, or we're just going to have a third party that's like, hey, we're kind of in the middle of all this. Y'all on the ends can chill out. But point is, we need another party.
The problem is we already have a moderate party.
We don't. We got 2 right-wing parties right now.
Well, I mean, the big ones, yes. The big parties. That's the thing. It's always like, oh, Democrats are left. And I'm like, have you looked at the rest of the world?
Yeah.
And the libertarians are fucking
Yeah,
weak.
we're like, Democrats are like conservatives in England.
Yes.
It's super strange.
It's England.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? The
Or
people
Canada.
who show like no fucking emotion.
Oh, no. I've seen their parliament.
Oh, that's true. Have you ever watched Prime Minister's Questions?
Yeah, they go.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
They don't fuck
They
around.
don't hold back, do they?
Let's move to England.
Maybe, that's what we need to institute for Congress.
Their liberal
Just
party
like
is
one
liberal.
fist fight a week or something.
Yes. No, we just need to have like I don't know, Senate questions or something where people start asking Senate members questions.
Have
And
you
just
seen Parks
shit
and Rec?
themselves.
It'll turn into that.
They will shit themselves.
They will
are
shit
not
themselves.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the thing. Is like, I know. On the other hand, the UK is weird because like half of its law is not actually written down,
Oh, yeah.
and
It's
yet
fine.
they still somehow follow it. And I'm
Yeah, it's
like,
fine.
but that's the thing. Is like they can do that.
Yeah, civilized.
And
we're
our
the goddamn
our-
animals that
yeah.
separated from them.
Our judiciary branch is all like, oh, it wasn't written down, so it's not protected.
Yeah, unpopular opinion. I don't think the American.
Pursuit of happiness.
I don't think the American Revolution was a good thing.
Nah, yeah. Should have just let
Yeah.
the queen do her thing.
I mean, they outlawed slavery way before we did. They gave women
Sorry.
the right to vote before
That's
we
a-
did.
I tried.
Yeah, we're kind of the worst.
Yeah, I mean,
Fuck.
basically, when you think about the,
we were the
Patriots-
worst that England had to offer. We
Basically,
came over here
yeah.
like a bad nation.
like the Patriots were just like rich white men, basically.
Yeah.
Like they were like the
taxes. Fuck you.
I kind of
Right,
feel like
yeah.
God damn
England
it.
was like, okay, we're gonna give a token effort at making it look like we're gonna fight back, and no, I just don't care.
They're like, you're
We don't
across
want
the
them
ocean.
here anyway.
This logistically isn't really going to work. Yeah, good luck, idiots.
Yeah, they're just like,
stay over there, though.
whatever.
we're going to come back and burn
Well-
your White House in 1812.
As Robin Williams said, the Puritans, people so stuck up that the English kicked them out.
Should get the fuck out. Yes.
Like, how dare you oppress us from not letting us oppress other people?
Yeah.
So you know what? In that light, I'm very proud of all of us at this table
We're at a table.
for turning into the people that we did. Good job, everybody.
I'm a monster.
What?
To certain people, absolutely.
You know what? I'm proud of the person I am.
Mhm.
Right?
I've had to work hard.
Oh, I'm proud of me too. I'm just a sociopath, so I'm real happy about it.
I don't think you're a sociopath.
I am. It works great though. Life
I feel like
is so much
sociopaths
easier.
don't admit they're sociopaths.
Most don't, no, because they're not self-aware. But I am also self-aware. I'm enlightened.
What
I've
is it?
gone on many an acid trip and have
Sometimes
found
he
myself.
confuses narcissist. with
Okay.
Oh, I'm
sociopath.
definitely a narcissist, but I'm a very aware narcissist, so I try not to make it other people's problem. But I am what I am, and I love me.
Fair enough, man.
No, I love you too.
Exactly.
Don't ask me how this works.
Yeah, see,
I don't know.
sociopaths are charming.
Are you trying to say I'm not charming?
He's very
you
charming.
fucking love me.
You keep coming back, okay?
Here's the thing. I'm an acquired taste, but once you acquire the taste, it's the best.
I hate it because I'll be mad at him and then he'll just look at me and smile. And I'm like, God damn it! I want to be mad at you right now.
I've got a 20 charisma.
He really does.
Just- You're all lucky I'm using it not for evil. Mostly for laziness.
Yet.
I'm mostly just lazy, so I don't want to take over the
that's
world.
kind of the
or,
biggest thing.
I've tweeted things that would keep me out of office forever. I'm very happy. Happy to self-destruct that career path so I don't ever have to think about it. Maybe I could be president. Nope.
I don't know after the last one we had.
Yeah, maybe it might increase your chances.
Yeah, I know.
Like, whoa, have you seen this guy's tweets? He's awesome.
This
He's
guy's
got
a
my
fucking
vote.
edgelord. Let's elect him president.
So, did we decide what we wanted to do about XP?
We're just not doing it, I think.
We're just not doing it? Okay, cool.
Yeah, because, I mean, this is the future. It's a good time. We're all having a great
We're
time.
all level 30.
Yeah, we don't need to level up during this.
Okay.
That'd be weird. Kind of.
I couldn't remember if we did it last time or not.
Thing.
You could always gift us feats.
Well, she did gift us. What was that like? An ability beyond her current level.
Yeah, but you only get it for this.
It's a
This
spell
campaign.
called "Don't Vote." Don't do it. It's a trick. It's a
Don't
trap.
spread that message. Stop
It's just
it.
a trap.
Stop it. I'm depressed.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to disagree with you on that.
Yeah.
All of a
Nothing.
sudden, in the
Voting
world,
in a
it's
red
just raining
state?
blood and
Pointless.
acid, and everybody just dies. The
Pointless.
See, I'm telling you, on my front porch, you can literally like walk out on it. It's like, stretch. And you look and it's like, to the left, Confederate flag. Move over and you're like, someone else thinks they have the Confederate flag, but that's not it. And it's like, 2 Trump flags. And then it's like, and a normal person. Okay.
Yeah.
What, do you live in Martinsville?
Cicero.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's like, I used to vote third party because, I fucking hate both the majors. And people are like, you're throwing away your vote. And I'm like, I live in fucking Indiana. I'm not voting Republican, so any
Yeah.
other vote is throwing away my vote,
Correct.
regardless of how I vote.
I think
If I'm not voting red, I'm not
it depends
voting.
where you are though. If it's like local,
No, but I'm not. I'm talking about national level
Oh,
shit.
okay.
Like, so we're
Yeah,
voting for
on the
senators.
national.
It's like, gives a fuck if I show up. I'll show up. It's
I thought we
fucking
had
pointless.
a Democratic
yeah, we
senator.
had
We did for
Sleeping
a
Joe
while.
Donnelly.
Yeah,
Oh,
you wish.
yes.
We don't anymore, homie.
I was like, we did for a little while.
We
We didn't
got,
do
we had,
shit,
we had a
but we
Democratic
did.
governor. We had O'Bannon
Mm-hmm.
somehow.
you know,
that
Holcomb's
happened.
not terrible.
And Obama won Indiana in 2008.
Holcomb has not been terrible. I
So
feel like
far.
Holcomb may
doing
actually
okay.
have liberal leanings, and he's just trying to cover them up.
I think he's more like he's just not.
I think
He's
he's a fucking realist or a pragmatist.
he's just not crazy.
Yeah.
Because like during the pandemic, he was pretty good
Yeah.
about everything.
He was like,
Yeah.
"You're all going to put on masks, and we're going to send them to you."
He's
Right.
like, we got
And
a bit
I
of a
went,
surplus.
"Thank
Let's
you."
send some back to our taxpayers.
yeah,
Yeah.
And at one point, he even said like he was even doing a press conference, and he was visibly frustrated. He's like, we could have been over this by now, but just people just don't want to wear masks.
Yeah,
They
and
don't
he
want
used his emergency powers, and the Congress like sued him, and it got sent back and whatever, and they were like, "Fuck it, whatever," because now it's passed. But he was like, "We need to have a session and do a thing, and I'm gonna institute this," and they were like, "You can't do that. That's against the Constitution of Indiana." And then the Supreme Court of Indiana was like, "No, it's not." And the Republicans are definitely not going to follow up because it's over now. They're
Yeah.
like, that
Yeah.
was fine.
I mean,
we were
it's
just
not
trying.
over, but everybody thinks it's over.
He also
and I
didn't
think
like
it's
you
over.
doing that.
He vetoed
Mhm.
some anti-trans stuff, and then but then it went back to the Then it went back to the House, and they're like, "Oh, we have a supermajority, so we're just going to
Yeah.
override your veto." We're
He
gonna veto
seems
your
like the kind
veto."
of person that's like, this is dumb. Why are you doing it? You're
I
going to do
voted
it
for
anyway,
him.
but I have to say, don't do that. That's stupid. Why are you doing it? And then they're doing it anyway. But, at least he's like, no, veto. Why
I
are
feel
you
like
doing
he's the
this? This is a
Republican
bad
because
idea.
he is very business.
Okay.
He is very
yeah, that's fair.
pro-business, which that is Indiana, and
Yeah, he might be
especially
that classic.
yeah,
He reminds me of the
corporatist
mayor we
Republican.
had.
Yeah.
Who was the last mayor of Indianapolis? I can't remember. He was a Republican, but he was all right.
What?
Was it the mayor before our current mayor? I can't remember his name.
We had a Republican mayor?
Mm-hmm. I don't remember his name though.
we did,
yeah,
didn't we? Hold
but
on.
he was very like
Oh, Ron Paul.
no, but he was very like not charismatic. So I don't think he's very memorable. But he was, as a Republican, he was all right. Like he was very like pragmatic, and he was also the Grand Marshal in the Gay Pride Parade, I think, of
Really?
2012.
It's like
Because
back
like,
when the Republicans weren't crazy. They were just
We
you know.
disagree.
conservative.
right.
They're like, no taxes, and stop funding things. Let everybody fend for
what
themselves.
was
But
his
now
name?
they're like, no gays, no abortions, no, we're gonna fucking rule your life. Come on, guys, settle down.
I look back at that election. I don't even remember what year it was, but with Obama and McCain,
Ballard.
and I was so upset with
Republican?
McCain. And looking back at it, I'm like, he wouldn't have been that bad.
No.
Like looking at everything, like
No.
I
okay.
know, right?
Yeah, he
I don't
was-
feel so bad because the first time Obama went up, I actually voted for McCain
Yeah,
because Obama did not have the military experience.
yeah.
That's actually what it came down for me. It was military experience. Now I voted for Obama the second time though.
I voted for him the first time and not the second time. It's like, what have you been doing? Fuck you, third party. I was like, fuck yeah, black man. And then second time, I was like, what is happening? You're just the same as everyone else? Fuck it. Third party, I'm over this shit. Throw it away anyway. You're not going to win Indiana this time. And he didn't, because lightning doesn't strike twice. It may not ever strike again.
So, I believe we play D&D on this podcast, right?
We do.
It's been a day. You got to give us this.
Yeah,
Trump's going to win in 24.
Don't say that.
I'm
100%.
actually, as much as I hate to say it, I'm kind of in agreement.
Because Biden's going
Please
to
don't
run.
say that.
He has to.
If he's not, I feel
No,
like
he doesn't.
Sleepy Joe.
unless he's dead or in jail. But I feel like
Oh, fingers crossed. He could
Matt,
die
go
of
get
natural
me another
causes.
drink. God, for if you love me, go get me another drink.
while you're up, can you give me a water? Hi.
My day actually started off really well because I actually got up on time, and then Moses
Then the
had
Supreme
be-
Court.
Well, then Moses had be the bed, and then I got to my thing late, and then the Supreme Court, and then I didn't get all my homework done, and then
Which, are we, as American citizens, able to, like, hold Supreme Court, like, justices in contempt
Nope.
for lying?
Mm-mm. They're untouchable.
because
Like-
wasn't like that one Supreme Court justice wife basically campaigning?
Yeah, Clarence Thomas's wife.
Yes.
Well, like, how many recent nominees were like, no, we're not going to overturn Roe v. Wade, and then just lied?
Oh yeah, I think all three of them, Gorsuch, Kavanaugh, and Barrett, they were all like,
Yep.
"Oh yeah, it's precedent." You know, that's what
Yeah.
they decided, and that's part
That's
of.
the thing. And then they went just with the Constitution. And I'm like, no, our whole legal system is based on the law and precedent. It's like the Catholic Church. We're based on the Bible and tradition. That's one thing that's what makes Catholic Church a little different than other Bible-based religions. Because we
Did
have a
not
lot
know
of
that.
tradition. Yeah.
Mhm.
So like that's why you get like a lot of like St. Augustine has influenced a lot of what the Catholic Church does and
Thomas
says.
Aquinas
And Thomas Aquinas and
Okay.
because Catholic Church isn't just based on what the Bible says, it's Bible and tradition. So remember, we have things like saints, and so
Mhm.
things that they have said have really influenced some of the
Gotcha.
things we interpret things. Yeah.
Okay.
That's why you don't see like Bible thumpers is not really a thing in Catholic.
Yeah, not in Catholicism.
Canon Jesus.
You don't get that. And what kills me is on the parish level, like on the local level, you get very canon Jesus.
Yeah, I went to Catholic school. They taught us about canon Jesus.
Yeah.
So when I got out of Catholic school and the Catholic bureaucracy was doing weird shit, I was like, what happened here? What are you
That's
guys
why
doing?
Catholics leave. Catholics leave because
It's like,
they
wait, guys,
kind of wake up and they're like, wait a minute,
I
you
wasn't
taught me
taught any
about
of that."
this Jesus,
Mm-hmm.
but you're acting like this Jesus. Wait a minute. And then we leave and the Catholic Church is like, why is everybody leaving?
Yeah, I'm like, wait, Jesus was like, love one another? What's happening? Hey, guys, calm down. I think you got it. I mean, you should know better than me, but I'm pretty sure I learned that Jesus was like love. So maybe chill out.